Oh hi everyone, MARKCHES here. Welcome to the channel. And for today's video, I'll be comparing the 3 top Nike sneakers with Zoom Strobel, and of course Jordan brand, of course, is included in the Nike family. So let's compare these 3. So let's go. Guys, before we start off with this video, I would just like to remind you guys, if you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please do so, and of course share it to your friends if you can. Right in front of me are the 3 sneakers with the best Zoom Strobel setup, and if you have been following this channel, you know how I love the Zoom Strobel setup. It started from the KD line. It's from the KD12s, I believe, the first one that had Zoom Strobel. And of course 13, 14, Cosmic Unity had it, and some other sneakers, but this 3 I think really tops all the other Zoom Strobel setup from Nike and Jordan brand. But let us find out what are the difference between the 3. They have slight differences in terms of cushioning, of course, but let's start off first with the performance of each upper. But if you want to watch a full performance review of each of the sneakers, I'll be putting it in the description down below. So as for the performance of the uppers of this 3, I would say the most supportive one will be from the GT Jump, because the GT Jump has this fused mesh on the toe area, and on the side is the jump wire cables. So if I'm comparing the jump wire cables, I would compare it with the Jacquard Lino Weave on the Jordan 36. The major difference between the Lino Weave and the jump wire is the Lino Weave is really thin. You can see it, it's kind of transparent. You can see at the other side of the sneaker if you're just putting your hand there. The main difference is it's really thin. The weaves are thinner, a lot thinner compared to the jump wires. So this is more of a thread-like feel compared to the GT Jump rather, which is more like a wire. That is why it's called jump wire. It's thicker, it's a lot thicker compared to the Lino Weave, but I would say support wise for both are very nice. But in terms of these 3 sneakers, the KD14, the Jordan 36, and the GT Jump, the support that I'm getting on the GT Jump is, I think, the best among these 3, and followed by, of course, the KD14, which features your typical mesh upper, which is dual layer, so you can never go wrong with the mesh upper on the KD14s. And lastly, the Jordan 36 is also a good supportive sneaker, but just comparing the 3 of these, of course this is the least supportive, but for how thin it is still very supportive. And the main upside of the Jacquard Lino Weave is it's really thin. Ventilation is best on the Jordan 36, then followed by the GT Jump. The GT Jump has a thinner textile material compared to the KD14's upper, which is really a dual layered mesh upper or textile mesh upper. So this is the best in ventilation. Next is the GT Jump, and last is the KD14s. As for the durability of the materials, I would also give it to the GT Jump because of how nice the materials of the GT Jump is. It is very durable, a lot of fusing from the toe moving to the back part of the sneaker. It is really built like a tank in my opinion. And next in terms of durability is the KD14, which of course is textile material and some extra layers over at the edge, especially around the toe area, where you can feel that there's an extra material there for durability and to maintain the shape of the KD14. Plus, going to the back part, it has this extra layer of mesh or fabric here that gives you extra durability to the sneaker. And of course, because the Jordan 36 is the thinnest of them all, although I don't see any fraying on my pair, but it's more susceptible to damage because of how thin the materials are. And going to the back part of the Jordan 36, it's also very thin. It has an internal heel counter, an external piece leather for durability, but I would say I didn't have any problems in durability on the 3 sneakers, but just the feel of the materials, that's where I'm basing my durability tests on these 3 sneakers. For the ease of wear between the three sneakers, I would give the Jordan 36 and the GT Jump. It's very easy to put your foot in because it just has a traditional lacing system compared to the KD14, which has a strap, and you have to fold it first here so that you can lace your KD14s well. Then after that, then you put on the strap, because if you just leave the strap like that, it's really hard to lace it up. So the technique is to put it and fold it on the side so that it doesn't disturb you while you're lacing the KD14s. Now let's move on to the heel part of the sneaker. Of course, first up is the heel containment, lockdown, and support that you'll be getting out of this three. First, the best is the GT Jump. It's a very high cut sneaker. Ankle protection is there. The cushion also goes up a lot for heel containment, lockdown, where of course, where you get that ankle protection is from here and not up here. This just gives you the security feeling, so that it kind of also helps out when you roll your ankle. This kind of catches your foot from further rolling it. Next is the KD14 heel containment, lockdown. The KD14, it is very nicely padded like the GT Jump. There's no heel slippage, no problems with the lockdown, and of course it's higher, and the KD14 is lower compared to the GT Jump and lower in the front of the ankle compared to the Jordan 36, but at the back it's pretty much the same on the Jordan 36, but it's very well padded, gives you enough ankle protection. And the reason why I'm putting the J36 last is because of the lack of padding around the ankle collar. It has the thinnest foam here around the ankle. So my main problem with the Jordan 36, if I'm wearing a thin socks, it is kind of loose around the lower part of the heel, and I really need to really crank up the last lace loop in order for my foot to really be pushed to the back of the sneaker so that it won't move. But if I'm wearing my extra padded socks like the Power Grip from Nike, I didn't have any problems there because there's no cushioning at the bottom of the heel. The cushioning ends here. Then this one is just the heel containment, or heel plastic piece rather, and there's no padding there. There's just a little bit of foam, but not as padded as the ones on the GT Jump and on the KD14s. So that's one of my concerns on the J36. You really need to wear a very thick socks, or you really need to crank up the last two lace loop in order for your foot to go at the back part of the sneaker. Now let's move on, of course, to the main highlight of the three sneakers, which is the cushion part. Zoom Strobel in the three setups. The KD14 just has a cushion carrier. There's no extra forefoot zoom. But on the GT Jump and the Jordan 36 has a full length Zoom Strobel with an X zoom unit in the forefoot. But on the GT Jump, it has a Zoom Strobel with an extra large zoom unit in the forefoot, an extra large zoom unit on the heel just below the full length Zoom Strobel. And you can see how big on the Jordan 36 zoom unit is. It's this big, but on the GT Jump, it is much larger. It covers a lot more space, a lot more surface area. The main difference between the cushion setup is if you want a lower to the ground feel, but still getting that bounciness, that very nice bounce to the sneaker, and a good impact protection, the Jordan 36 is the lowest setup among the three. Plus, it's more springy in the forefoot compared to the KD14s. The KD14s, comparing to the Jordan 36, it gives you more impact protection from the forefoot and heel because of the cushion carrier. It's much softer. While on the Jordan 36, it has an impact protection, but a little impact protection then gives you a bounce back. But if you want more impact protection, go with the KD14s. But if you want maximum bounciness and maximum impact protection, of course, the GT Jump will give you that. But the main drawback on the GT Jump is it's the highest cushion setup between these three. So the thinnest or the lowest profile is the Jordan 36, followed by the KD14s, Then next is the GT jump. Although the GT jump, don't get me wrong, it's not too high off the ground, but just comparing between these three, court feel on the KD14s and Jordan 36 is very, very nice. But on the GT jump, it's still nice, but it's not as low as the ones on this two, because I don't think you'll get the best out of those two worlds. But if you are really looking for springiness, impact protection, and at the same time it's not too high, and what I love about the GT jump is the stability is still very nice, even though it has the thickest cushion setup. And this is where I'm really impressed with the GT jump. It is because among these three, it has the thickest cushion setup, but in terms of support and stability, it is still very nice. You wouldn't feel wobbly, you wouldn't feel that high off the ground. And even comparing it with the Jordan 36, even though the Jordan 36 is really low to the ground, you would still feel this zoom unit protruding at the outsole. So I really felt that because I'm usually playing with two sneakers when I'm testing out sneakers. So when I'm changing up from a very stable sneaker or a really flat sneaker like the KD14s, then I change up with the Jordan 36, I would really feel the zoom unit, and it will wobble just a bit. Then when I get used to it, that's when it will become okay. But if you're someone who just has the Jordan 36 and you won't be changing your sneakers during games, you wouldn't really know the difference that much. But if you buy Jordan 36, at first you would feel that feeling that it's not too stable in the forefoot, but after playing with them and getting used to the Jordan 36, it will become okay. As for the heel to toe transition between these three sneakers, I would give the Jordan 36 the best because it has the lightest weight, and of course this Eclipse plate or the Eclipse plate 3.0 is really shallow here, so it gives you a very nice ride, and it has a very nice curve in the forefoot. And comparing it with the KD14s, it's much flatter in the curve in the forefoot compared to the Jordan 36, which has a nicer curve in the forefoot. And as for the heel, pretty much the same on both. While comparing the GT jump to the Jordan 36, yeah, the GT jump and the KDs has a similar curve in the forefoot, which is not too much. But on the heel, the KD14 has a nicer curve compared to the GT jump because it has a more edgy heel shape to the GT jump. Plus, this is the heaviest among the three sneakers. Let's weigh them out. Of course, the GT jump, the heaviest, 500 grams. The KD14s, 430, which is standard. Then the Jordan 36, which is the lightest, 415. That really goes to show that weight is really a factor in terms of heel to toe transition. But for me personally, heel to toe transition is not my priority in choosing a basketball sneaker. You know what's my priority is of course the traction. And the three traction on these three sneakers are awesome. They are all very impressive. The main difference between these three sneakers traction is the durability of the rubber, which on the Jordan 36 has the thinnest rubber material among these three sneakers. Even though this is made out of XDR rubber, the rubber material, the threads are still very thin. The grooves are, it's okay, it's not too shallow, but it's not too deep either, but it has the thinnest thread among the three. And of course, next is the KD14, which has on the normal thickness of rubber material. This one also has XDR rubber, but comparing it to the GT jump, which has a translucent outsole, but the thickness of the rubber is really thick, given that this is not XDR. So the GT jump, I would say, is the most durable among these three, and all are widely spaced. And as for indoor use, we won't have any problem between these three, but the J36 and the KD14 grip harder compared to the GT jump. But don't get me wrong, you won't slip on the GT jump, but it doesn't have that strong grip as the ones that you can feel on the J36 and the KD14s, which also squeaks more compared to the GT jump. It's just a matter of preference, but I'm okay with the GT jumps because even on the dusty floor, these three sneakers, there's no problems. They all grip on dusty floors, which is really, really impressive. But on dusty floors, the king, I think, is still the Jordan 36. Then next, the KD 14s. And of course, lastly, the GT jump. As for the thickness of the outsole, the forefoot part on the KD 14 is the widest. The next, the GT jump. Then I think the narrowest. Or the GT jump and the Jordan 36 has the same width in the forefoot. But I believe on the heel, the narrowest is the Jordan 36. Then next is the GT jump. Then lastly, of course, the KD 14 really has a wide base. Yeah, it's wider by just a tad bit on the KD 14. So the most stable, I would say, of course, is the KD 14s because it's lower to the ground compared to the GT jump, but it's as wide and as flat in the forefoot. So next is the GT jump. Then of course, stability wise, last is the Jordan 36. As for the price of these three sneakers, the cheapest is of course the KD 14s because it's the oldest two. It is 8,500 pesos here in the Philippines. $20 cheaper compared to these two. And I was kind of shocked. I thought the GT jump will be more expensive than the Jordan 36. The Jordan 36 is 9,800 while the GT jump is 9,700. So $2 cheaper on the GT jump compared to the Jordan 36, given that the cushion setup of the GT jump is really stacked. More tech in terms of cushioning on the GT jump, but some might beg to differ because of the lino weave material on the Jordan 36, which is thin, lightweight, and supportive. So just a matter of preference, but I was kind of shocked that this is cheaper compared to the J36 because I think it has something to do with the J36 carrying the Jordan brand's name. As for the sizing, go true to size on all three sneakers if you're a regular footer, and for wide footer, go half a size up. And a little summary between these three sneakers. You'll never go wrong between these three sneakers, but the main pros on the GT jump is of course durability, support, structure is very supportive, of course maximum cushion, forefoot and heel impact protection too. Traction is great. Cons on the GT jump is the weight, and of course it's the thickest among these three in terms of cushion setup. Next, of course, the Jordan 36, and I forgot, the most expensive is the Jordan 36 and the GT jump, so that's a little bit on the con side. But on the Jordan 36, some colorways are on sale right now. I think the purple colorway is on sale. It's 20% off here in the Philippines. But the main pros on Jordan 36 is of course court feel, responsiveness, at the same time giving you springiness in the forefoot especially, and a good impact protection in the heel. Very good heel to toe transition, a very light sneaker. The main drawback on the Jordan 36 of course is protruding zoom unit, which will give you instability at first, and of course this heel containment that I was mentioning earlier on the Jordan 36, which I wish they made it thicker in terms of padding around the heel part of the Jordan 36. While the KD 14, in terms of overall aspect, performance, cushioning, value for money, I think this is the most well-rounded sneaker among these three because cushion setup, springiness, of course, Zoom Strobel will give you that, plus impact protection in the forefoot and heel because of the Cushlon. Supportive upper, very durable upper, ankle protection, very good heel containment, plus the traction is on the middle part between the GT jump and the Jordan 36. Very good traction on the KD 14. So bang for your buck, the KD 14s. So guys, thank you for dropping by this channel. I hope I helped you guys out once again. Let me know which of these three is your choice. Let me know in the comment down below. Thank you again for watching. This has been MARKCHES. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.